The free $20,000 MLB 10 Runs for Free Cash contest is now live at SBRforum.com. What is the contest? It's simple. Each day in a designated SBR forum post, you pick one team that you think will score 10 or more runs that day. You qualify to win $100 that day if you are correct. Each day the game continues, you pick another team. And every time your team scores 10 runs, you'll be adding onto your total score. The contest is split into 3 segments, and at the end of each segment, the top scorers split $2,500. And at the conclusion of the contest, there's even more cash up for grabs, in total over $20,000. And I know what you're thinking. You can just pick the Yankees every day and win. No, you can only pick the same team once per week. Check out the link in the description for more info and see you in the SBR forum for the contest.
Folks, welcome into SportsBookReview.com. It's Thursday, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball. A lot of games in action today, and I needed last night a 7th spot in the top of the 9th inning. Tip my value menu wager play yesterday on Tampa Bay. 28 runs total in that game. Sign me up for more of that today. Hot and muggy here on the East Coast. I'm Donnie Seymour along with Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the SportsBookReview.com Major League Baseball team. Jason, are we in a better mood today?
Yeah, we're the first and foremost, of course, yesterday we did get that value play and the odds boost, so that obviously made the night way better. The Mets also came from behind, won last night 8-7. Now I'm watching today; they're up 4-1. Just need to get Diaz in the 9th inning to get the W here for the first game of the doubleheader. So yeah, much better day for me all around. But kind of hit this wager later tonight that I have. It's an official play, even with the card being a little bit wacky today. Not much to love, but. We do have the Field of Dreams game that we'll get to shortly, and that should be lots of fun as well.
Value in the eye of the beholder is what we always like to say yesterday. My odds boost yesterday, Ohtani hit a rocket to the wall with a nice catch by Hernandez in right field. Of course, the second at bat of the game, Kyle goes yard in that one, so would have cashed my odds boost in as well. But a fun night overall to watch Major League Baseball. And I guess if, something's setting up today here, Kyle, I see the top of the 5th inning here, the Philadelphia Phillies 2-0 over the Dodgers. Bullpen's going to be intact here. Is somebody willing out there to go with another 2.5 here on the Dodgers? Could be. Kyle, how was your night last night? Yeah, baby. Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I mean, the value menu wagers came through. The prop play came through. The play of the day, the Mariners, of course, they crapped the bed and let us down. But if you remember, I said that would be Jason's fault if they won or lost. So that one, that one didn't hurt us. I just threw that one on Jason and moved right along. It felt pretty good, honestly. It really did. But the overall good night. Tough card today. I don't think there's a ton of great spots that I'm in love with tonight, but there's a few spots that I think are worth a look. Looking forward to the show. Going to be good.
Oh, it is going to be good. We got some live day baseball, as I just said there. Keep you updated here. The New York Mets 4-1 over Washington. This is what you have to do. Good baseball teams put away bad baseball teams and move up in the rankings, so the Mets are doing their job there. 6-4 here. High-scoring game in the 6th inning between St. Louis and Pittsburgh. Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies, as I just said here, 2-0 in the top of the 5th inning. Oakland 5-0 over Cleveland. Morgan on the mound. You think Oakland's going to score? Yep, they already got a 5 spot here in the 5th. 0-0 just underway. Milwaukee and Chicago. And coming up shortly here, Detroit and Baltimore at 4 o'clock as well. Any thoughts here on the early card here, Jason, from your perspective?
Yeah, so William Hill, they had this promo where you get $25 for every single home run your team scores, whether they win or they lose, when you put $50 on the team. So, of course, I took the Dodgers. The Dodgers have no home runs so far, but I figured they'll get that Phillies bullpen, and with the heat and just the weather looking really nice today at that ballpark, I thought maybe the Dodgers could score some home runs. Of course, Harper did get a home run, so if you did put $50 on the Phillies, on William Hill, you would have $25 free bet now. So far going, we still have the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings to go. But if you did if you took the Phillies, you would be up $25 as a free bet. Of course, I took the Dodgers, hoping, cross my fingers, they can score a home run or two in this game. But outside that, I got no wagers on these early games.
Yeah, it's some interesting ones coming up here, and you can get some advantages here. As I said, again, you saw the rain conditions come down last night. David Price was in the ball game still after the rain delay, which was shocking, and even then couldn't even touch his strikeout prop. Credit to Kyle on that one. But you also saw for the second straight night, you're getting after a Phillies bullpen, which, Ranger Suarez has been sensational so far today. Top of the fifth inning, 1 out, 1 man on for the Dodgers. Nobody has scored yet here, and that's still a very good lineup. We'll see if that same thing plays out today. So, Kyle, going over the Major League Baseball card this afternoon, any thoughts on some of these early games? Did you have any inklings here? The one I was really close on, and I don't bet too many Major League Baseball games in the afternoon, but the Oakland Athletics, all they do is, like I said yesterday, is win 5-0 today with Cleveland. Man, they are charging.
Yeah, the A's look good. I actually put a sprinkle early on the under 4.5 in that first 5 innings of that Milwaukee-Chicago game. Expect Hendricks and Woodruff to get through those 5 innings, both very good pitchers. Neither lineup scares anybody, so the under 4.5 so far. I mean, it's pretty early on, but no runs yet, although it looks like the Cubs are threatening here with runners on and nobody out. So that's the one thing I guess I'm rooting for. I keep an eye on that Phillies-Dodgers game. Look, if you're going to get Dodgers bullpen game, Phillies bullpen game, I know the Dodgers are down 2-0, but you start getting a good value on the Dodgers coming back and winning against that Phillies bullpen. I do think there's some value there. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, no, the biggest bummer there is they wouldn't give me a Wade LeBlanc under strikeouts prop. I wanted one badly. They didn't have one out there. So that's sort of going to what I thought. I mean, both teams have scored 2 really bad pitchers. So, yeah, keep an eye on the Dodgers. You might get some value there on the Dodgers. It's not outside the realm of possibility for them to, take the lead in just a couple of swings off that Phillies bullpen. That'd be where I'd be focusing on these afternoon games.
Yeah, a couple interesting ones. We'll keep you guys updated as they move along. Real quick point yesterday, because, part of the show is not only giving out picks and breaking down games, but it's using like sports books and what some sports books offer that other ones don't. Fox Bet actually has team totals for Major League Baseball the majority of the time into the 9th inning. But case in point yesterday, you had a 14.5 as a team total entering in the bottom of the 8th inning yesterday in Tampa Bay. Now they had 14 runs on the board. So it's okay, 1 run, man, maybe they don't really care. But the simple fact they left the 14.5 up when there was a position player on the mound. They scored 6 times in the bottom of the 8th inning. Always keep your eyes peeled on these sports books because they're just updating a lot of time from algorithms. They're not saying like, hey, pitchers in the game, maybe they score 1 minute, maybe they don't. When a position player comes in, what's the expectation? He's certainly not going to go 1, 2, 3, or at least 95% of the time. That's not going to be the case. They lit him up for 6 runs. And, of course, in the top of the 9th inning, you got another stack of 7 runs there. So just keep your eyes peeled for stuff like that. Also, keep in mind, we do have a Major League Baseball contest underway here, so Lee Martin explained that. Runs is what you like. $20,000 in Bitcoin up for grabs there. But also the NFL Pick 6 contest, along with the NCAA Pick 6, sort of merged together, just like we had last year. You could pick 3 and 3. You could pick 6 with 1, 6 in the other. Doesn't matter here. Whatever you want. 4 and 2. $50,000 up for grabs. Now, I got to say, Kyle, you're going to like this one here. I'm still looking down there. It says SBR Sports Picks, 87,300 subscribers. I'm telling you. We said 87,500 by tomorrow. I'll come on and I'll do the show. Friday is payday. But you know what's going to happen tomorrow night? When you see that little atom bomb come up and be like, hey, here was my play. I hope you guys get it. Oh, wait. I didn't even give it out on the show. My bad. I forgot about that point. Pump that bad boy up to 87,500. Kyle, I mean, come on. That's all we asked for, right?
And if you think that I won't just follow suit, and just make it easy on myself, I don't got to research nothing. I just don't like anything, If you think I won't just follow suit and take a nice, easy Friday, you are sadly mistaken. Hit that damn subscribe button. Ridiculous. Let's go.
Yeah, by the way, Mikey, 8088 opened an account on MGM thanks to Donnie's team totals. I mean, we all love BetMGM. I mean, Jason, one of the first ones turned me on to it last year. Hey, check out this book. I'm like, now, wait a second. I think I'm in love with this right now because you want as many advantages as you want. You want to buy the line down, you can buy the line down. You want to push the line up and take plus money, you can do that. It's always funny because it wasn't so long ago, as I always like to say, you're looking at a book, it's like, now, why are you giving me 5.5 at plus 110? Just give me the 4.5 at minus 125 here. You can get that wherever you want. So certainly get after it, get it done, but also hit that subscribe button. Hey, maybe somebody's out there got some burners out here. Flip them around here because we've been stuck on 87,300 for way too long. I don't usually do this, right, Kyle? How many times have I come on the show and be like, I need to see this bumped up to this number? It's been 3 days. That hasn't moved, Kyle.
Yeah, it's absolutely unacceptable. It's got to move. It really does. It really does. I'm telling you, I'll be kicking back. I'll have a Hawaiian shirt on. I'll have a margarita, and I'll just, no play of the day. Friday's supposed to be payday. You bastards didn't hit the subscribe button. So hit the damn subscribe button. See, I'll call you a name and then ask you to hit the damn thing. Do it for us. We're trying to get to 100K. It's ridiculous. Let's go.
Absolutely on the way to do it here. All right, let's get into the Major League Baseball card today. Tigers and the Orioles. Now, talking behind the scenes here, there's an odds boost out here for Miguel Cabrera to hit his 500th home run today, and you get a nice boost from that. But earlier today, I saw some, tea leaves out here that said doubtful possibly for this game. Now, from a Miguel Cabrera perspective here, you probably want to play each and every day, particularly when you're going up against a pitcher in Baltimore, a bullpen in Baltimore, a game in Baltimore, and weather at about 99 degrees at first pitch, which means that ball is going to fly. But when you're a bad baseball team, sometimes you do things for a little bit for show, saying, hey, it's got maybe a little tight hamstring today. We're going to get him at home so he can hit number 500. Looking at the game today, Manning on the line versus Means, the lefty. Slight favorite here, opened up at 130 offshore, but risen to minus 148 as a favorite for the Baltimore Orioles. 152 here in New Jersey. 10.5 across the board as a total. Manning, certainly not the greatest pitcher. Means has been good ERA-wise, but still, Jason, over the past 30 days or so, that has a high xFIP number. We looking at runs today? What do we got?
Yeah, first, just want to point out the Mets are now on a winning streak. We have won 2 straight games. Just want to point that out. It'll be 3 in just a little bit. So tune in to watch the Mets get a 3-game winning streak going here against the great Nationals, who just lost their entire team. But going back to the Tigers-Orioles game, of course, Miguel Cabrera going to wait till he gets home to hit the number 500. And good for him. He's had a great career and still going strong for now. So got to give him credit. But both pitchers have not been very good as of late. John Means, obviously a guy who looked really good earlier on in the season. Since coming back from injury, 6.20 xFIP, striking out 15.2% of batters. To righties, he's had a little bit of trouble. Again, he is a lefty pitcher, so 233 ISO against his last 79 righties. In the lineup, he'll probably could be the entire lineup, could be righties, but Dew is out with a concussion, so you won't see him in the lineup. He's usually the only lefty that's usually a regular in the lineup. So the Tigers, they're going to have probably 9 righties in the lineup, and then against Means, that they have potential there. But then, like Kyle always talked about with Matt Manning, 5.35 xFIP, striking out 15.2% of the batters. Against righties, he's been awful. 418 weighted OBA, ISO of 196. Strikeouts are low to both sides, and the walks are a little bit high to lefties. So there's potential there for the Orioles. We always talked about the Orioles being a little bit better against lefties and righties, but they still have a 190 ISO. They strike out just 17.4% of the time. So strikeout's not going to come against the Orioles from Manning's perspective. And from him throwing the ball. So yeah, I kind of like this is again, when we talk about all these games today, there's not many great looks in these games, so take it with a grain of salt when we talk about these games. There's not much to love here, but I probably would side with Means here. I think the Orioles can probably at least get the ball in play and should be able to score some runs in this game.
Yeah, take a look at the game overall. You're looking at Manning over the 2021 season, a 5.83 xFIP number over the last 30 days. Not much better, 5.35. But then take a look at Means. He's got a 6.20 xFIP. But the one thing that you do bring up points, it's not a great lineup here for Detroit that's going to enter the game. The lineups are out overall. And it looks like from a Baltimore perspective, what do we have? Two lefties in the lineup, 3 with a switch hitter. 1, 2, 3. And then from a Detroit perspective here, going up against Means, the lefty, it's going to be all right-handed batters. That is confirmed throughout the lineup. We'll see how it shakes out. But the one thing, Kyle, we do know, 99 degrees at first pitch. So muggy down there with the wind blowing out close to double digits. Is this one just by default you're going to get runs because bad bullpens, bad starters? Jesus.
Yeah, you would think there would be runs here. Now, I do like one side a little bit more. Jason mentioned it. It's a tough card, so I am hanging my fruit baskets from the Baltimore Orioles. And look, we typically say the Orioles are sneaky against lefties, and we like them against lefties. All those right-handed bats in the lineup, you could have upwards of 8 righties in the lineup tonight for Baltimore. But the good news is Mr. Matt Manning's on the mound for the Detroit Tigers, and in limited starts, so it's been 9 starts he's had this year. He's actually been much more effective against lefties than he is righties. His OPS is 35 points higher versus righties, so he's struggled against right-handed bats. The Orioles profile, for the numbers I'm looking at there, the best lineup profiling. It's the 3rd highest weighted OPS over a 3-year span if you take the other pitchers into account in their 3-year span. I like the Orioles here. I like a minus 0.5 in the first 5. When I woke up this morning, it was minus 120. Now it's moved to minus 130. I do agree with that line movement. It's kind of a bummer. But I do like the Orioles in the first 5 innings. I don't love John Means, but he actually does profile nicely. It's the 2nd lowest weighted OPS now with that lineup out. He's actually been pretty effective against both lefties and righties, just slightly better against lefties, just 688, 680 over the last 3 years. Pretty good against those switch hitters as well. They don't do well when they're switching over back and forth off of Means, so I actually kind of like that. I think Means gets it done. A 43 in his last start in terms of fantasy points against Detroit. Yes, Baltimore's tanking. They're, the second or third worst team in baseball, but I like Baltimore in DFS. I like him minus 0.5 in the first 5. And in that same vein, I took Matt Manning under 3.5 strikeouts. It's at minus 140. It's steamed up a little bit, and it does make me a little nervous. He's gotten to 3 strikeouts, which is close in his last 2 starts. It's a number he's only hit twice. He's hit 4 twice this year in his 9 starts. That's his high. Baltimore, for all their woes, don't strike out a ton. Matt Manning under 3.5 strikeouts. Baltimore minus 0.5 in the first 5.
Yeah, it makes sense there. I mean, just take a look at the analytical numbers. 2 really poor pitchers entering into today. We'll see if that equates to runs in that hot atmosphere down in Baltimore. So let's take a look and keep it moving down the list here. How about this? Tampa Bay and Boston, another game here. It's the East Coast, 93 degrees, wind blowing out dead center field at Fenway, and about at least at double digits. So last night we got a ton of runs. Now, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes it's better than being lucky than good. I'm saying, hey, they can hit Eovaldi. They didn't hit Eovaldi for a damn. Guy just dominated them all the way through. Then the bullpen comes in and a blowout situation. You don't throw your best bullpen guys. Next thing you have 8 runs on the board for Tampa Bay. So that value menu wager play actually worked out, even though probably didn't deserve it. So today, Rasmussen versus Houck, not great named pitchers on the mound. And that's why we're seeing a total in this game of 11 across the board. If we sort of set the tail here, I guess, for the stage on both of these teams, the lineups do look pretty good. But take a look at Houck here over the past 30 days. What does he have? 60 batters that he's faced in this instance? Yes. 2.48 xFIP number, which is sensational. How long is it going to go? We don't know. Rasmussen, 3.64 xFIP in this one as well. So is this just maybe heat in a small ballpark, 2 good lineups they should hit like last night? Or do we see sort of a backtracking today, Jason, in this game with a lower scoring game up at Fenway?
Yeah, so with Rasmussen, he's only starting because Yarbrough is out now. Fleming started I think yesterday. So that's why Rasmussen's going to be starting, and they're going to take it inning by inning today with how long he goes. This is a guy that usually goes 3 innings at most in most of his outings, but they said they're going to try to stretch him out maybe just a little bit more. Can he get that far? That's the question. But, I mean, you look at the Rays, like we talked about yesterday, they've got, as you guys hear in the background, of course. But, no, look, they've looked really good, the Rays against righties. 277 ISO, weighted OBA, 368. The strikeouts are a little bit higher, but they've looked pretty good. I think the Rays can kind of get back on track here. But Rasmussen, there's nothing to really like about him in the first place. He'll go 3 innings. You get the rest of the bullpen. Obviously, the Rays bullpen, it's really good. So I would stick with the Rays here. It's going to be a bullpen game, but they're one of the bullpens that you can trust in a bullpen game. So I would go with the Rays here.
Yeah, some decent left-handed bats in the lineup here tonight this afternoon here for Tampa Bay. Lau will be a lefty. Franco will be a lefty. Meadows, Wendell, Phillips, and Kiermaier. We'll see if that adds up to some runs today, but certainly hot and heavy conditions. And also, I'd like to say, I don't know, it must be the best manicured, lawns that we've ever seen, wherever Jason is at right now. Every day, it's 100 degrees in here. Take the afternoon off. Get up at 7 a.m. and do it, people. Anyway, go ahead, Kyle.
Well, you got to clean it up because Jason's got the shrub out there, like the statue of him flat. They got to clean it up because it starts to look like the biceps aren't clean. So Jason's like, hey, get your asses out here, get that little trimmer on and give me that bump in the middle of my arm. I get it. It's a nice shrub. It really is. It's a nice shrub. So this game, tough for me. Yesterday was a weird game, right? You're coming off a game where there's 20 runs and then 8 runs in the 9th, all this crazy shit happening. So this makes me want nothing to do with this game. How will today feel after sort of a marathon last night? I have no idea. Houck has not been bad. He actually profiles well when you take his limited starts and what he's done, righties and lefties, and what Tampa Bay's offering. It's a really low number. I don't think you can put too much weight into it. That's why not, because it's such a small sample size. But, Tanner Houck's been okay. No, he was hit fairly solid last time Tampa Bay was out. This is real 50-50 for me. It's a sort of a dog or pass type situation. I suppose the Rays plus 105 on the money line in the first 5, but I do like Houck better than I like these little starters for Tampa Bay. And someone's quite astutely said yesterday, Josh Fleming sucks. And boy, oh boy, you are right. That is in the memory bank. It's written down on the notepad. Pick on Josh Fleming at all costs next time you see him opening a game for Tampa Bay. Yep. But I am with Jason. I have a slight lean to Tampa Bay here. I don't love it, Game I'm staying away from, but if I was going to go there, I'd find the plus money any which way I can. Pretty 50-50 for me.
All right, taking a look here. Oakland ready to bust this game open in Cleveland, up 6-0 now with the bases juiced and nobody out here. Also a 2-run home run by Jace Peterson here for the Milwaukee Brewers to now take a 3-0 lead. Phillies in the bottom of the fifth inning. So if you did have a first 5-inning wager on those Philadelphia Phillies, you cashed that ticket in. They're up 2-1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Let's get out to the West Coast tonight. The MVP is going to be on the mound tonight, and that is Shohei Ohtani versus Jose Barrios. If we take a look at the totals across the board, 8.5. Slight favorite here to Toronto. Even though Ohtani's on the mound, I do agree with this. Why? Because that Toronto lineup is certainly coming into his own. Ohtani's good pitcher here. 4.02 xFIP over the last 30 days. Right about average. Doing some good work here between lefties and righties. But the issue here tonight is, take a look at the estimated lineup here for the Toronto Blue Jays, first 7 hitters. Just ISO power versus righties over the last 30 days. Springer, 382. Simeon, 278. Guerrero, 338. Bichette, 188. Teoscar Hernandez, 221, Dickerson, 190, and Grichuk, 204. They're doing some damage. They are hot. Ohtani better be able to do it all tonight at the plate and also on the mound if they want to win this baseball game. I do agree with the slight favorite here for Toronto, Jason. Which way are you looking here between the Blue Jays and the Angels?
Yeah, I agree. But, Ohtani, in his last 39 plate appearances against righties, a 134 weighted OBA and an ISO of .079. So most of the lineup is going to be right-handed for the Blue Jays, and Ohtani's actually been pretty good against righties within the last 30 days. And if you go to Barrios, on the other hand, he's looked really good in his first 2 starts with the new ball club, but still against lefties, 49 plate appearances, a 255 ISO there. So there's still room for some of those lefties in the lineup against Barrios to do some damage. I think Walsh should be back in the lineup. Marsh is also going to be in the lineup as well. So there are some lefties that can do damage against Barrios in this one. So, look, I still like the under in the first 5, but if there's going to be a pitcher that's going to get hit a little bit more, I think it's going to be Barrios. But, again, it should be a close one. It should be a low scoring, at least earlier in the game, but maybe more scoring towards the end of the game. So I look at the under in the first 5. I think that's the way to go in this game.
Yeah, Ohtani tied into an odds boost tonight that we'll get to in just a little bit. And just take a look, like last 30 days, like Barrios has been good. 4.10 xFIP number. Weighted on base average is very good to lefties and righties, Kyle. But I take a look at the lineup again. It's just, what do you get out of the lineup outside of Ohtani? Not really too much. I mean, Joe Adell's back up. He was a disaster last year, but actually having a decent month here versus right-handed pitchers at a 456 weighted on base average. Jack Mayfield, again, continues to rake out of that 9 hole with a 260 ISO power number over the last 30 days versus right-handed pitching, but not a lot left getting the, saying, hey, we're not shutting Mike Trout down on the season yet. Who knows when he's going to appear? Basically looks like they're only, rooting interest if you are a Angels fan or you're a baseball fan is you just want to see Ohtani get the MVP, but outside of that, who really cares about the Angels?
Yeah, exactly. And I think Jason talked about it good. This should be, you could see a lower scoring game in the first 5 innings. Ohtani certainly can go that far. They're not going to pitch him, 110 pitches and have him go a complete game. So you're going to have a few innings, maybe more than half the game, depending on how he's looking and how they want to rest him, where you have more of the Angels bullpen than their starter. That Angels bullpen is very, very beatable. So I do think the Blue Jays team total is live over 4.5. It's a low. Typically you see the Blue Jays and you're getting a bad bullpen team. You typically see the Blue Jays at 5.5, right? We see them at 5.5 far more often than when we see the Blue Jays at 4.5. So I do think that Blue Jays team total is live over 4.5. It's minus 115. Another one I'm looking at, look, Barrios and Ohtani. Do we think Ohtani's exponentially better than Barrios? I think it's fairly even. I will say Toronto profiles better off of Ohtani than the Angels profile off Barrios. You're getting the Angels minus 0.5, or the Blue Jays rather, minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus 110. I do think the Blue Jays are the exponential. I think the difference between the Blue Jays lineup and the Angels lineup is far greater than whatever case you can make for Ohtani being better than Barrios. Advantage Blue Jays for me. I do like them minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus money, and I do think their team total is live in this contest.
Yes, I do think it as well. So we'll see what happens here in that game on the West Coast tonight. Got some football tonight. You got the Field of Dreams game, which you're going to get to in just a few moments here. But let's move it down to value menu wagers. Yesterday, hey, somebody even added me on Twitter yesterday. It's like, hey, looks like we have a running mate here with our team total. Yeah, it was like 14-0. Yeah, they basically ran away from it at this point. So, but it was nice to see in a blowout situation where Tampa started a little bit of fight and put 8 runs up. Like, imagine that. You say, look, I'm going to give you free money in this game. I'm not going to tell you about anything that happens in this game except the 9th inning. Tampa's going to score 7 times. Like, oh my God, put everything I have on Tampa. They're going to light this team up, and they get waxed by 12 runs. It's always interesting the way it turns out here. But my value menu wager, I'm going to go back down to Atlanta tonight, and I just think it makes sense. You have a lineup that's hot in good hitting conditions. Now there is some rainy, that we might have to watch out for tonight. It's a 5 o'clock start here on the East Coast with the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. Taking a look at Vladimir Gutierrez, not very good. Over the last 30 days, his starts, an xFIP minus number of minus 128. If we take a look at his seasonal average here, a 132. And on the season, a Sierra of over 5, an xFIP of 5.55. Certainly doesn't add up that well. Do I love the lineup tonight overall from the Atlanta Braves? No, I don't. But if we just take a look at it on paper, Soler, 404 weighted on base average, Freeman, 425, Riley, 486, Swanson, 388. That's packed into that lineup from the 2 batter right through to the 5 batter. We should be able to get some damage. Outside of Vogt on this team, the lefty that's going to be in the 8 hole tonight as we anticipate a lineup coming out, it's a strong lineup. They should hit. And anytime you'll hear me say this a lot, if I get bad pitching and bad bullpen action in a hitter's ballpark with muggy weather, sign me up. I'm going to take the Atlanta Braves today. The team total sitting here at BetMGM got a little while ago. A little bit juicy here. Is at 4.5 at minus 155. There's no reason to believe for me they don't get 5 or more runs tonight. Not going to lay the wood on this one, but I'm going to have some action. I think we get the damage done here down in Atlanta. They'll get the 5 tonight. What we looking at today, Jason, for your value menu wagers? Fast food time. Let's go.
Yeah, see, I like where you're going with this one. I'm also on the Braves, but I'm going to go with the first 5 on the money line at minus 140 for all the reasons like you said with that Braves lineup. But then you go to Muller, who's actually been pretty good as of late. And, you look, his xFIP's a little bit high, 5.7. The walks are a little bit high. If you can keep the walks down, things are going to be a lot easier. In July and August, he's actually allowed 4 hits or less in every single start in July and August. So if he can keep the walks down, and he has the last 3 games allowed just 2 walks in each of those last 3 games. If he can do that, I think he'll be just fine against the Reds here. The Reds are actually 0-14 against Muller in their career. I think it was this year. I think this is probably the first year that Muller is pitching. So they're 0-14 with just 2 walks against Muller on the season. So he's already had success against this Reds offense. And like you said, the Braves, they look really good against Gutierrez, and they should be able to score runs. Their lineup, it's so much more balanced than it was earlier on in the season. Like, sure, Acuna is out, but they added so many lefty bats. They have Soler in there now. There's some power back in that lineup. It's just a lot more to like from that Braves lineup. And don't forget, they're in first place. I don't like to admit it, but they're in first place, and they're playing like it right now. So I like the Braves here, minus 140 in the first 5 on the money line as the value play.
All right, there we go. Value adding up. Kyle, what do we got tonight? Where are we cashing in on?
I mean, I'd be remiss here if we didn't go to the Field of Dreams, right? And we got Andrew Heaney, a lefty, going against the White Sox on a short, tiny, little movie film field. Yeah, I'm going to take that White Sox team total over 5, minus 115. I would love to get the 4.5 number, but it's too steamed up. Value menu, I think they get over 5 runs tonight. I expect both teams to score runs here. This is a small park. It's sort of this, nostalgia type, token type game, that we've talked about for years. So it's going to be a little bit goofy. It's going to be a showcase. Heaney, not someone I trust. He's smashed by both righties and lefties. We've been talking about the White Sox versus lefties all year. It sort of cooled off a bit. But this is a real big boy lineup. And just for the record, home run props here. Jose Abreu, in 10 career at-bats, has 3 hits. All 3 of them have been home runs off Andrew Heaney. You can get an odds boost for Jimenez on DraftKings. They hit a home run. I like to call him Jimenez like the golfer. I wouldn't do that. He's actually really bad against lefties and 0-for-6 lifetime against Heaney, so that's an odds boost I would not take. But I think the White Sox should score runs here, over 5 runs, minus 115. And I like guys like Anderson, Robert, Moncada, Abreu. All these guys look really good, profiled nicely, advantages of 35% or higher.
There you go, the mechanic, Jose Abreu, out here doing some damage. Also, when you take a look at this game, we're going to speak on it in just a few moments here, but there are people saying that in a cornfield, corn sweats a lot in high heat and humidity, which cause a burst in the atmosphere around the cornfields, which could add to the humidity. So there's people getting real in depth out here, but it's 335 down both lines, 380s to the power alleys, and 400 to dead center field. Now, keep in mind, center field wall is 12 feet. The rest is 7 feet. So maybe we'll get some things stolen. Maybe we'll get some home runs. We need, I mean, come on. If we're not going to get like 3 or 4 home runs into the corn tonight, what are we doing out there at this point?
No
Major
point.
League Baseball should have stepped in and said, you got to have like your trashiest pitchers on the mound tonight and give up just absolute mammoth blast. So we'll have some fun getting that tonight. But odds boosted. I love it. Kyle hates it. Doesn't matter. We get after it right now. See if we can match up some action in these ones. I'm going to keep it because I thought, it was pretty good that you're trying to pick something that's going to pertain to the, odds boost that has some semblance there when you get out to the cornfields. I'm going to go with a hitter's prop tonight. Now, there was a couple of Ohtani props that I like today. If he's going to get 7+ strikeouts and get a base hit, that was a pretty good one. Also, he's going to get on base in the first inning and also get first plate appearance and also record 1 strikeout in the first inning. I actually went with a 3-way parlay here, and that's with Fox Bet. Stanton to get a base hit tonight. Obviously, wanted to tie that into the Field of Dreams game. Ohtani and also Crawford to get a base hit. That is at plus 280. That's where I'm going tonight. So at least I get to watch, what's going on out there in the cornfields. Odds boosted to the moon. Jason, where are you going tonight?
Yeah, no, with this Field of Dreams game, there's really no other games being played during this game. So if you want to watch baseball at 7 o'clock Eastern time, you're going to have to watch that game. Like we just talked about, the Braves game, it's starting at 5 o'clock because they want to get that game finished before that game.
That's a good point.
Literally the only game that'll be on. If you guys don't want to watch preseason football, definitely want to tune into that one. It's going to be on Fox. But my odds boost is going to be on William Hill. It's Brandon Belt to hit a home run and the Giants to also win the game at plus 700. Brandon Belt, 12 of 28 against Marquez in his career. That's a 429 average. Does have 1 home run. His OPS 1.181. And so I like Belt against Marquez. I like really the entire Giants lineup against Marquez. And we'll get to that pretty shortly.
There you go. Odds boosted, Kyle. Love it or hate it. You're picking it. So where are you going?
Damn it, we're going back to the Field of Dreams. Look, I know it's Lance Lynn on the mound, and we can't trust the Yankees, so I wouldn't put a lot of money on this. But the Yankees to hit 3+ home runs is boosted from 390 to 475. I mean, let's make this game fun. It's a solid boost. If you look at guys like Judge, there's some guys in this lineup who have been good against Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn, not Lance Lim. Hopefully it's Lim. Tonight, 3 of 8 lifetime, 2 home runs for Judge. Stanton, a home run and 6 hits. So it's feasible. It's a small park. I like that Luke Voigt's back in the lineup. He's a little bit better against righties than against lefties. We've still got the Odors. Maybe he can sneak one over. So 3+ home runs. Joey Gallo, good against righties. 1 for 2 lifetime, no home runs yet. So 3+ home runs for the Yankees in the Field of Dreams. Lots of runs, lots of fun. White Sox get runs, Yankees get runs, boosted 390, 475. Let's go.
Got 350 people watching live here on a Thursday Major League Baseball show. Thank you for all the love and support out there. 90 thumbs up. We appreciate that. Keep on clicking that number to get up with the subscriptions and obviously turn the notification bell on so we can have some fun because tomorrow, Friday's payday, or as somebody said in the chat box, you're going to hold us hostage? Hey, Friday might be hostage day here on the network. You never know. Never know what you're going to tune into here. But the one thing we're going to get to is best bets on the Major League Baseball board. And I got to tell you, opening up the card today, I'm not a huge, because I'm not going to give a best bet before the show before we can explain it and come on because I don't give that many. Hey, what are you talking about? You came on last week, you had no best bets because they all started at 12 o'clock. Not going to do that today, but it's very rare that I open up first thing in the morning and go through circled wager plays like this looks decent, this looks decent, this looks decent. You usually have about 4 or 5 or 6 of those. Then you whittle it down. I opened it up today, and I had to fight just to get one, which was the Atlanta Braves team total over the 4.5 at minus 155. Yeah. Outside of that, you have a lot of great hitting conditions. Like, this is perfect. Got 100-degree games, 90-degree games in small ballparks. But it just seems like the pitching matchups did not match with the batting matchups for myself where we're going to be able to lay the wood and get after it. I do have some action tonight. I'm going to have fun cheering on the Atlanta Braves team total at 5 o'clock. But that's it for me. Don't have a best bet and banker. Tomorrow's Friday. It is always payday. Just a matter, Jason, Kyle, if we're actually going to put plays out tomorrow. What do you got, Jason, for today?
Yeah, so again, when I was just talking about the Giants, I like the Giants in this game against Marquez. On the season, Marquez 3 starts against the Giants, 13.06 ERA. That's 0-3. So Marquez on the season, he's 10-8. 3 of those losses have come against the Giants in all 3 games that he started. 10.1 innings, allowed 16 hits, 15 runs, 2 home runs, 8 walks, and a OBA of 364. This lineup, actually, they destroyed Marquez this season and other seasons. Like I talked about, Belt, obviously, 12 of 28. Chris Bryant, the only guy in the lineup that has kind of struggled, but still has an on-base percentage of .417. Crawford batting .333, back to Donnie's play. And then you have Dickerson batting .500 with a home run. Crawford has that home run. Tommy La Stella, 5 of 12, .417 average. He'll be eighth in the lineup. That's how good this lineup is. Yastrzemski, 3 of 11, but his 3 hits, all extra base hits. Wade, 2 of 2. Think that's really the entire lineup. Buster Posey, 5 of 13. So there's a lot to like. They've all destroyed Marquez in the past. I'm getting a number over 3.5 team total for the full game at -155 at MGM. Just as the lineup against righties in the last 30 days, 277 ISO, 367 weighted OBA, walking 10.5% of the time. So a lot to like in this lineup for the Giants. I also agree with the first 5, but if you're getting the Rockies bullpen, and Kyle always talks about how the Rockies are one of the worst bullpens in the league. If you get them the next 3 innings after Marquez leaves, there's a lot to like there. So going 3.5 -155 for the Giants on the team total for my official play today.
Let's go Giants here. All right, Kyle, what do you got today? Best bet and bankers. What do you have? Anything we're digging on the Major League Baseball card? Show us something. Show us.
We're going after the pain, and we're going to those Baltimore Orioles, -0.5 in the first 5 at -130. Look, I'm looking at the 3-year advantages here. It's all green for Baltimore, up and down the lineup. Matt Manning struggles against righties. He's not great against lefties either. A lot of righties who are ready to go against Matt Manning tonight. Baltimore -0.5 in the first 5, -130. I like Baltimore in DFS as well. And, of course, in that same vein, Matt Manning on the other side on the mound to get under 3.5 strikeouts, -140.
All right, there we go. And I know a lot of people want us to get to this Seattle game, which we'll get to in a moment. It's one of those games also, a horrible pitcher on the mound, but lining up looks like a horrible lineup in a pitcher's ballpark. So we'll get to that, and we'll hammer those out. But let's get to the odds lightning route and spin it around Major League Baseball, see if we can find some things that we left, some meat on the bone, per se. And what do you know? We're going to skip over the second half of the doubleheader in Washington and New York Mets with Fetty and Williams to get to this game. Texas and Seattle. Fulton-Davis, horrible. Marco Gonzalez, horrible. But then again, 2 horrible lineups, it seems like, that we're projecting today. A -225 on Marco Gonzalez in this game just shows you how bad Fulton-Davis is. But, Jason, I'm going to ask you this question. It's an 8.5 across the board. You know, Seattle's struggling a little bit at the plate lately. They should be able to tune up Fulton-Davis, which everybody does. But at the same time, I got to trust the numbers. Over the last 30 days, it's just not an advantage that I want to take advantage of, per se, and take the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to stay away from this game on the over-under. They should get it, yeah. 2 pitchers that should get rocked. But then again, it is what it is.
Yeah, you're looking at this Rangers lineup, and against lefties in the last 30 days, a .088 ISO and a 213 weighted OBA, walking under 4% of the time. I mean, what is that? That's just complete garbage on that lineup for the Rangers. So yeah, I mean, look, the Mariners, they're heavy favorites, but I mean, at least they have guys in the lineup that should be able to do some damage. Toro, 392 ISO, 391 weighted OBA. Also Friend, 370 weighted OBA. Seager, 345. Fraley, 359. So at least there's guys that can do some kind of damage against Fulte in this game. And Fulte's still been the worst pitcher, probably one of the worst pitchers in baseball. I mean, right now, 7.52 xFIP and striking out under 10% of batters. I mean, that should be illegal in the MLB. If you can't strike out 10% of batters, you shouldn't even be around anymore, unless you're the Athletics. He just destroys the Athletics for whatever reason. But yeah, no, I'm a Mariners guy for this one. I'm not touching it, but I'm pretty confident the Mariners are going to win this game if you want to put them in a parlay.
No, they should. They absolutely should win that game. There's no reason for them not to. If Marco Gonzalez even is like just as an average pitcher, his average self, they should win. But then again, don't be surprised, or would we be surprised if Fulton-Davis in the 5th inning not giving up any runs? But then again, that's why you jump on live team totals and can make some money with those. 5-10 tonight down in Hotlanta, Kyle. We'll go over this one again. Reds and Atlanta. Gutierrez versus Muller. 144s to 150s across the board. 10s across the place. So it looks like we're going to have to tune up and get some runs here. Hot, muggy conditions. Maybe the chance of some showers. Maybe a rain delay, but it doesn't look like it's going to interfere with the completion of this ball game. I'm just going to ride a red-hot Atlanta team. Do I want to pay 144 in that range? Probably not. But I'm certainly not backing Cincinnati in this spot here today, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I like the Braves here, and I know that Gutierrez has been better lately, especially over his last 3 starts. But he's still a very beatable guy, and I actually like what's been going on with Kyle Muller. Really, really good against Cincinnati his last time out, 48 fantasy points. The Braves lineup from the right-hand side has absolutely been smashing. It's Braves or nothing for me. I think that team total is absolutely live. When you look in the first 5 innings, minus 0.5, minus 105. So you can get a good price on the Braves there. I just like Mueller a little bit more than Gutierrez, and I like that lineup, especially against from the right-handed side, better than I like the Reds. Getting that lefty in there, some of those lefties for the Reds, the Winkers, the Barnharts, the Vottos, etc., they just struggle a little bit more against lefties. I'll take the Braves here. I like that lineup. I think they have the advantage, minus 0.5 in the first 5 and their team total.
Let's have a little bit of fun with this one here. I'll throw it back to both of you guys. You're starting with Jason Heaney and Lynn on the mound today. Field of Dreams game taking center stage in Major League Baseball. Cool atmosphere around it. Heavy price and heavy favorite here for the Chicago White Sox in this game. Heaney, the lefty on the mound. I mean, last time I saw this guy, I had to do a double take because his numbers are decent on the season. Then you get put on the big stage and it's like you can't get anybody out. You throw the ball over the middle of the plate. It's basically a home run derby. You try that stuff tonight with a right-handed lineup for the Chicago White Sox. Ain't going to work out too well, Jason.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at Heaney's numbers against this White Sox lineup. Just the entire roster, they're hitting 109 in 51 at-bats. 109. So, I mean, there might be room for Heaney to do well enough in this game. And, of course, yeah, I mean, look, we're in a whole different new ballpark. We don't really know how the ball is going to carry. There's a lot of different hypotheses out there. Who knows what's going to happen?
Ooh,
but what I do know is that 109 average against Heaney in 51 at-bats, not very promising. And then, of course, Lynn getting an extra day of rest that could help him or that could hurt him a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, the White Sox have the better lineup. Of course they do. Against lefties, of course they have the better lineup. But, again, they haven't done that well. Outside of Abreu, Anderson, and Moncada, there's not much to like in this lineup. None of these guys have really done much damage outside those three. But again, Heaney has not looked good. He's been a lot worse as of late. So I would probably still ride with the White Sox here, but be careful.
Certainly be careful. And also, there's an interesting thing on the FanDuel Sportsbook tonight. I believe it's if you bet a $25 3-team parlay here, if there's a home run or multiple home runs for every one you get, it's $5 back in your pocket. So theoretically, if you get 5 home runs in this game, be nice. You lost your $25 parlay. You in fact get your money back. So it's a pretty cool thing. So you're trying to wire together, Kyle, what you would like here. And I got to tell you, if I'm going to have a hitter's prop in this game, take 3 hitters to get a base hit or maybe a hitter to hit a home run and other guys to get base hits, it's all coming from a Chicago side for me. Now, I know you're taking that odds boost here for the New York Mets. Because, it's in different conditions and stuff. But when I look at their lineup over the last 30 days, it's like, holy cow, man, get it together, New York.
Oh, yeah, I don't feel great about it at all. I'm personally not betting it. We just got to pick one, and so we're going to have some damn fun with it.
No.
That's the one I'm thinking. What I'm taking is all the elements around the smaller park. They certainly have the talent to do it, so it's not outside. I mean, they could easily lose 9-3 and hit 3 solo shots in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. And it wouldn't shock me when the Yankees score. It's supposed to be by a home run. That's all they can do. I mean, who's the base stealer on the team? Who's the laying down you're not laying down bunts and advancing runners when you play for the Yankees. You're trying to smash it out of the park. So that's 3 home runs. I hope there's runs in this game, and I do like that White Sox team total. I think they can hit Heaney. Heaney doesn't scare me. Jason's right. He has been good against the White Sox, actually, but yeah, I still think they can get runs today. Heaney, especially smaller park, weird conditions. It's all gonna be a little bit goofy. We'll have to see what happens there, but it should be fun. Give me that White Sox team total over.
Yes, by the way, somebody was asking me for a 3-team parlay today. I mean, look, Oakland, Milwaukee, Mets game 1. There's your winners right there, folks.
There
Get after it. Exactly. Don't have to think too much.
Sometimes I wonder in the chat box, why doesn't SBR have an NFL show? We've done about how many NFL shows have we done together at SBR?
Yeah, I'm waiting for my first one. I'm going to appear for the first time on SBR NFL show coming up in just a little bit. I've never been on one before, and I'm excited by it.
What happens? It's all this paint. I don't mean to be mean, but I feel like there's paint, and there's childhoods, there's all sorts of weird things, glue maybe. Come on. It's all right there. Just scroll down. We do lots of NFL shows. And we tell you guys all the time we don't take Major League Baseball money lines. I don't know how many times we have to say it or why and explain why. And it's just what the hell is happening in the world?
Tell me why.
Sure. Yeah, what's in the water? Something's in the damn water. I swear to God.
Something is in the water here for us. But just to keep everybody updated on the games here, 6-4 St. Louis over Pittsburgh. Philadelphia 2-1 over the Dodgers. There's a pitching change in here after Bryce Harper just walked in the bottom of the 6th inning. Oakland 10-0 over Cleveland. Milwaukee 5-0 over the Chicago Cubs. And we're waiting momentarily to get underway with the Washington Nationals and the New York Mets. And then also Detroit-Baltimore coming up here at 4:05. 2 games left on the card to talk about here. 2 blowouts, in my estimation. San Diego with Darvish on the mound versus Arizona and Widener. 221 to 245, depending on sharping at 9s across the board. I mean, I'm not going to lay that high of a number here. The only matter would be is if San Diego is going to be able to cash in their team total, Jason. Any thoughts between Darvish and Widener?
Yeah, like you said, it's probably going to be a blowout. Darvish hasn't been the best this year, but the last 30 days, 3.64 xFIP, also striking out 30% of batters, walking 5.2, getting ground balls at 52% of the time. So he's been okay. I mean, righties are getting to him a little bit. 421 weighted OBA in his last 46 plate appearances. Also an ISO of 452. But for the most part, there's going to be a lot of lefties in the lineup. Probably all lefties, actually. Maybe Ahmed will be the only righty. Am I getting that right? So if that's the case, Darvish should probably throw a perfect game. So good luck with that. I mean, if there's an odds boost for that at like plus 20,000, go for it. Because if it's just Ahmed being the righty, Darvish should have a really good day today. So.
And by the way, real quick, some stuff on Twitter here. They're just showing Kevin Costner throwing around the baseball at the Field of Dreams. The field looks immaculate tonight, so we'll see how it comes off and plays. And for baseball's sake, if this gets like a rain out or rain delay, that would be absolutely hilarious here. Last game we'll talk about 963 and 964. Marquez and Webb on the mound. Colorado versus San Francisco. Minus 200s basically across the board. 7.5 total. I think Marquez might be able to keep those bats down a little bit for San Francisco tonight, but San Francisco's the better team. They should be able to win. Colorado on the road, as Kyle would say, is maybe not. Don't want to take that.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. It's Colorado on the road. So you're getting the Giants minus 0.5 in the first 5, minus 115. Now, I do think Marquez is the better pitcher. Actually, if you take their whole body of work, he is. The Giants have had some reasonable success. You mentioned those lefties, Crawford and Bell, all Posey, the righty, good DFS options tonight in DFS. Giants should get runs. I like that Giants team total, and I like a minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 115.
There you go. Let's wrap it up for a Thursday show here. You got NFL action night, Field of Dreams tonight, but also Friday can be one of 2 things, as we said. It can be payday or hostage day around here on the channel. That's pretty funny, actually. I need to get some T-shirts made up with that stuff on here. Let's clear the bases and get out of here. But as always, before we do that, we like to get you guys caught up on what we're digging on tonight with some wagers. Only one I really like tonight, and it's going to be my value menu wager play over 4.5, which starts at 5:10 Eastern. That's the Atlanta Braves, 4.5 minus 155 at BetMGM for my value. Also for my odds boost tonight through Fox Bet, Stanton, Ohtani, and Crawford to each get 1 hit or more. That sits at a plus 280 number. Jason, where are you going tonight?
Yeah, so the value at the Braves minus 140 in the first 5. The odds boost will be Belt to get a home run and the Giants to win at plus 700. And also the big play will be the Giants over 3.5 on the team total at minus 155 via MGM. And if there's a Darvish to get a perfect game odds boost, sign me up. If anyone sees it, I'm in.
Oh, there you go, Kyle. What do you got today? Load them up. Load them up.
Perfect game. Imagine if that happens. That's mega. That's mega. Okay. Value menu. I got that White Sox team total over 5. Odds boost in that same game. Yankees hit 3+ home runs, boosted up. So let's hope for a lot of runs in that game. That'll make it fun. Let's get rid of these pitchers. Play of the day. I'm taking the horrific Baltimore Orioles minus 0.5 in the first 5 at minus 130 is my play of the day. In that same vein, Matt Manning under 3.5 strikeouts minus 140. Get that streak going. Home run props today. I got 4 names: Jose Abreu, Rafael Devers, Aaron Judge, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
All right, there we go. So all the way through the Major League Baseball show. Thank you guys once again for tuning in here on a Thursday. As usual, we'll be back for tomorrow, one of our favorite shows of the week. As always, it is Friday. Hopefully we can cash in big as well tonight and also parlay that over to tomorrow. I'm Donnie Seymour along with Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. This was your Major League Baseball show for Friday. Good luck on those wagers.